if you know you're summoning, like if you already made up your mind, then this video honestly isn't really for you. I wish you nothing but the best of luck on your summons. Actually, stay around because I do have a quick challenge for you, and then you can click off the video after you either pass or fail that challenge. But if you don't know whether you want to summon for Goku or not, then this video is literally for you. Like, you couldn't have been in a better place at this current specific time. I'm not going to try and sway you one way or the other. I'm not going to tell you to skip or tell you to summon. Rather, I'm going to give you information that you deserve to know before you actually decide to spend some Dragon Stones, such as how good is a character now that it's been a few months since he initially released. What does his banner look like? What other characters are coming this year that you may or may not want to save Dragon Stones for? Just things like that. So that way you are being an informed Dokkaner before you decide to, summon on Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I see some people saying they want to skip. I see some people saying they definitely want to summon. So let's go ahead and hop into it. But like I mentioned before, we do have a really quick challenge. And now that it's Halloween, happy Halloween, by the way, I'm seeing this candy pop up a lot, and honestly, I just can't. This candy is one of the worst candies I've ever tasted in my lifetime. And today's challenge revolves around that. And if you like this candy, I'm telling you right now, you got caught lacking. It is what it is. Here's the candy right here, okay? Again, if you like this candy corn, you got caught candy corn? You got caught lacking today. You got to subscribe to the channel. It is what it is. I don't know, dude. Like, how can you defend something like this? If you like candy corn, take full screen off. You got caught lagging today, and join up and support the family by subscribing. It is what it is. Now, if you don't like candy corn, thank you for having some reasonable taste buds. You can skip the subscriber challenge. Just know that I will catch you lacking in the next one. Stay tuned for that. Let's hop into this video. The first thing you deserve to know is how well has Goku aged. And I'll tell you this right now. For the majority of players, he's not going to look that good defensively speaking, especially for, like, okay, so let's just explain a few things, right? Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a character who he actually needs to get hit in order to activate his standby mechanic, right? Can be activated after receiving 5 or more attacks during battle once only. 5 or more attacks for a character like Super Saiyan 4 Goku isn't really that bad, especially because he's geared to be a slot 1 character, right? He gets more buffs when he's in the first slot. Just to show you that really quickly, reduces damage received by 20%, plus an additional defense plus 70%, and another 20% damage reduction as a first attacker in a turn, and that only increases once you get to full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku here. So he is definitely a slot 1 character, but sometimes characters are just not, they're not hitting you in the first slot, or sometimes you're not really getting hit that much. It's like a hit or miss ability here. 5, you could either activate that, turn 3, turn 5, or turn 5, turn 7, it's completely random. It's all RNG at the end of the day. So just keep that in mind, right? Now, if you, let's say, for example, have bad RNG with this ability, plus your Goku's only 55%, and you have no support on rotation, this Super Saiyan 4 Goku, granted you have everything else active in his kit, might be around 250 to 350k defense, which, again, if you're stuck in this Super Saiyan 4 form, turn 5, turn 6, you're going to have an issue. Even with, like 40% damage reduction in slot 1, he's going to get hit for quite a bit of damage, all right? He is definitely, I wouldn't say he's a tanky character. He definitely can tank. However, if you are struggling to get the 5 or more attacks, which I'm telling you right now, many people watching this have experienced, when you're trying to focus, sometimes it's like when you try to focus on something in Dokkan, you just don't get it. And for those of you that know what I mean, you know what I mean. So if you are, in turn 6 struggling to get this, and the fight is just getting harder and harder and harder, and you're only at 250, 300k defense with 40% damage reduction, as these hard events get harder, you're going to end up getting, he's going to become a liability for you easily. However, once this version of Goku pops up, the Maju part, the 300% to defense, the 10% damage reduction per key sphere obtained, and guards all attacks for 3 turns, at this point, I don't want to say unstoppable, but you're unstoppable, right? And then, of course, the 3 key in defense plus 70% to all allies is monstrous as well. So once you pop this out, you're going to be looking good. It's really easy to get the 30 charge counts for Super Saiyan 4 Full Power Goku to pop out. And once he pops out, he's definitely looking, you know, a lot better offensively and, of course, defensively. Those numbers that were, what was it? It was 20% and 20% damage reduction here, as well as 70%. It is now what? It's 77 and 25, right? Yeah, so he gets defense plus 77% for 5 turns after evading or receiving an attack. No matter what he does, he's getting 77% defense, which of course is really good. Reduces damage received by 25%. An extra defense plus 77%. And reduces damage received by another 25% as the first attack or in a turn. So let's say just with this part of his passive, he's at 50% damage reduction and 154% to defense. On top of his 200% to defense right here. And then, of course, him raising defense on both 12 and or 18 key. So, again, this character, once you get to this part, is definitely going to look a lot better offensively and defensively. It's just that it could be tricky with the Super Saiyan 4 Goku getting hit 5 or more times. And granted, if you're not in the first slot and you're trying to fish, you know, or trying to bait the enemy to attack you, you're essentially losing 70% defense and 20% damage reduction. So he could, if one of the attacks are super attack, he could end up just getting one shot anyways, right? So this Super Saiyan 4 Goku version right here is hit or miss. But once you actually get these out, then you're looking at a really, really strong and competent character. So that's just kind of like my breakdown for Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Those are those things I think you should definitely keep in mind. Then we also have the banner here. Honestly, not a bad banner. So we do have the gamma. The gammas make this banner a W for me. Not like you should summon, but as in like not this banner. Like, the Gammas save the banner because you're not summoning for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, right? He's not really it right now. Goku's not bad with his EZA, but, you know, Pan is okay. Vegeta and Trunks, and then the Gammas are, like, the reason why you'd summon on this banner anyways, but I'd always recommend just pick them up with coins if you really want to. I don't think this banner is a banner you definitely really want to be focusing, going hard, summoning on. It's just not, I wouldn't say the worth is really there. Honestly, if you're going to spend red coins, I'd recommend just waiting for Christmas time for when the Tanamata banner drops, where you're getting, like, literally Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the 8th anniversary LRs, and then the Gammas 2 and everything else. So, yeah, red coins, using red coins now, I wouldn't really recommend it. And something for this, like, this banner overall has good value, but the chances, like, someone's going to be like, oh my god, the Gammas. And then, you know, get 3 guaranteed featured animations, and they're all Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So, don't do it. Then this baby. I wish I could sit here and say that this baby is, like, one of the best banner units of all time. But unfortunately, he's not. Especially considering that the part 2 was Carnival Omega. This guy could have easily been one of the, like, just a disgusting GT boss of support. But he's not. So, you know, I wouldn't really go out of your way to try and get a copy of him, unless you're a collector, of course. You just, you know, whatever. But that's essentially it for the character and the banner itself. These are some things that you might want to consider when it comes to who else could be dropping for the rest of the year. We know Heroes is a thing. We know Super Saiyan 3 Rose is a thing. We know that blue dark form Vegeta thing is a thing. So if you love Heroes, remember it's coming towards the middle to end of November, and it is guaranteed featured, of course. So that means that the more summons you do, the more chances you're going to literally have to pull all of the new characters, which of course is the case no matter what. But since it's guaranteed featured, it's harder, not hard, but it's harder to get shafted on a banner like that. So we don't really know how good those characters are just yet, of course. So it's going to be hard to say, oh yeah, skip Super Saiyan 4 Goku for, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Rose, but we don't really know the kits. I doubt it, to be completely honest with you. I don't think any of those characters are going to be as good as Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because even though his first form or his first state or this Super Saiyan 4 Goku right here, even though he's not really that, like, strong OP anymore, you have to understand that he's still a character who has a standby who can revive, right? Like, not necessarily revive, but just having the standby mechanic gives him a lot of utility. And I don't think these hero characters, like, these hero characters don't really have transformations, right? They don't really have these massive active skills and standbys. They don't really get that kind of treatment. So, in terms of utility, I think we're like Super Saiyan 4 Goku should take the cake on that, if that's something you're considering. But you never know, right? Super Saiyan 3 Rose could have an active skill and standby. We just don't know. They haven't really given that much love to hero characters in terms of utility, in the sense of these different skills that we see these anniversary characters and these other hype celebration characters actually receive. So we'll see on that. We also have Trunks coming, which I'm telling you right now, whoop-de-doo. This is his banner. Again, whoop-de-freak. This is a bad banner, by the way. Bad banner. And then Carnival Omega. Now, I'm going to make a whole video on why this guy just might get shafted until next year. However, if he does end up dropping this year, something to, I guess, consider. But again, it's like GT Bosses, not really a great team. With him, of course, it's a better team. And if you pull Baby, I guess it's a better team. But what are we really doing with Omega? What are we really doing with Omega? He's not bad. He's definitely he can look very, very, very good. So I'm not gonna sit here and talk him down or anything like that. But Super Saiyan 4, like, again, if you like Omega more Super Saiyan 4 Goku, then summon on Omega, skip Super Saiyan 4 Goku, if that's what's just what you want to do. But I'm just showing you some of the characters that are dropping this year, or could be dropping early next year as well. And then we also have I forgot to pull it up, but the New Year step-up banner, which everyone should be saving at least 200 to 600 Dragon Stones for, unless of course you have every unit in the game, of course, right? But if you're newer or missing a lot of Dokkan Fest, saving for that as well could also be a really smart thing to do. At least 200 Dragon Stones to save for that, because like I mentioned, that's guaranteed LRs, guaranteed Dokkan Fest, guaranteed category leads, and you just can't beat the value of that. So just keep that in mind. But some characters again that are dropping, and some banners that are dropping. Carnival Omega could be dropping this year, most likely next year, we'll have to see. Trunks most likely dropping this year as well. We also have Heroes dropping this year as well. We also have the New Year Step Up banner, and then maybe Global and JP Dokkan also share a dual Dokkan Festival banner, just like we did last year for Beast Gohan, or Beastless Gohan, and Revival. Is it Revival? No, I think every time I think of Piccolo, I think of Revival Piccolo from Legends, but more so the Tech Piccolo, Orange Piccolo, or I guess Power Awakening Piccolo, right? So yeah, let me know what you think. That's essentially all the information you deserve to know. Whether you want to summon all those characters or not are completely up to you. Your stones, you decide what to do, but just know that if you really want Carnival Omega more than this Goku, but you summon for this Goku, you're gonna be, a few stones short for your Carnival Omega, and there's no such thing as getting those stones back. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.